Just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about our benefits, what it is we provide for our members, and what we're all about. Some of you may already know, but MASA stands for Medical Air Services Association. We're an air ambulance company that provides 14 great benefits to our members. The company was started over 35 years ago by our president and owner, Mr. Halley. The company's head office is based in South Lake, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We've been in the Bahamas for over 15 years. We have over 700,000 members worldwide. This whole industry, as far as air ambulance is concerned, was created by our president and our owner. So we're the first to do it. We're the best. We're the finest and the foremost emergency assistance company provider in the world. So what is it that we do? We provide 14 benefits to our members, and I'll go down the list of each benefit right now for you to explain to you exactly what it is you get when you become a member of MASA. The first benefit, which is the big one, is the air ambulance transport. If, for example, I was living in Spanish Wells or Harbor Island, and I got hurt, and I needed to get to the hospital in Nassau in order to save my life, as a member of MASA, you call us, and we will send a plane to get you to the hospital, to the nearest facility that's going to save your life. If the hospital in Nassau couldn't handle your injury and you had to go to Florida, then we will also fly you there. Now, keep in mind, all of these benefits that I mentioned are no additional cost out of pocket. So as far as the air ambulance transport is concerned, you don't have to worry about finding a few $1,000s to prepay it up front. No insurance copay, none of that stuff, no deductibles. It's free to you as a member of MASA. So whether it's you, your husband, your wife, children, anyone that gets hurt and they can't take care of your injury here, you call us at MASA. We have a 1-800 number that you dial. It's answered in Texas, and we arrange the air ambulance flight for you, ground ambulance flight, to get you to the hospital that's going to save your life or to help you deal with your injury. The other benefit we provide is the escort transportation. If I get hurt in Spanish Wells and I got to take a plane ride to Nassau, MASA will allow someone to go on that flight with me, whether it's my wife or a brother, my mom, a friend, a pastor, someone that I can confide in, someone that's going to hold my hand, pray with me, and comfort me during that air ambulance ride to the hospital. That person is allowed to ride free. Now, another benefit is expense reimbursement. Just say my wife goes with me on that flight. She doesn't have a chance to pack any clothes. I'm really injured badly, so she wants to get on the plane with me to get to Nassau. After I get to Nassau, the ambulance picks me up at the airport and drives me to the hospital. But when I get to the hospital, the doctor does his surgeries, and they tell my wife, there's nothing else you can do here. Go home and get some rest. Come back tomorrow. Because my wife left in such a hurry because it was an emergency, she didn't pack any clothes, she didn't make any preparations for any stay. MASA will reimburse her up to $500 for what she spends. Once I'm hospitalized, once I go to the hospital and I'm in the hospital, my wife can now go get a hotel room or get some clothes, get some fresh change of clothing, something to eat, whatever she spends, up to $500, MASA will reimburse it to her. MASA will also cover the ground ambulance costs for members anywhere in the world. So if I'm in the United States, if I'm in England, if I'm in Canada, no matter where I am in the world, if something happens and as a member of MASA I need to get an ambulance, MASA will pay that ambulance bill. Another benefit we provide is commercial transport. If I had some nagging injury, a back injury, a hip injury, and I was seeing a local doctor, and it comes up that, maybe I should go to Atlanta to see another specialist, get a second opinion. MASA will pay for my ticket round trip to go and see that specialist. They only require that you spend overnight or 24 hours in an observation center where they observe you and run their tests. So that's a non-emergency benefit, the only non-emergency benefit we provide. Everything else we do is centered around an emergency situation. This particular benefit, we allow you to travel commercial. We'll buy the ticket round trip for you to go to get that second opinion and be evaluated overnight. Children return. This is probably my most favorite benefit And it really goes to show that the people that put this whole thing together really thought about a lot about the benefits and how best to serve the members. If this summer my wife and I decided that we're going to go from Spanish Wells to Orlando for a little summer vacation, we're going to take our daughters with us, and my brother, her sister, a few friends calls and says, why don't you take our kids as well? So I end up in Orlando at Disney World with 5 or 6 kids. If, heaven forbid, I get an injury while I'm in Orlando, I may have a stroke or heart attack, or I slip and hit my head, something happens to me, and I have to go to the hospital. It's kind of hard for my wife to determine, should she go to the hospital with me? Should she stay with these little children at the hotel? She can't be 2 places at one time. What MASA will do for our members, we would have an adult escort, collect those children, and return them to Eleuthera. They'll chaperone those children on the plane back to Eleuthera. So now the children have been removed from that situation so that my wife now can concentrate on her husband, a nice, handsome husband. She don't have to worry about the children. She can just give the attention to her husband. Now, say on that same trip to Orlando, we had rented a van or rented a car, and I'm in the hospital now, so my wife isn't going to be using the vehicle. She doesn't like to drive in the States anyhow. She thinks those people drive crazy, so she doesn't really need the vehicle. MASA will also have that vehicle returned to the car rental company. So you don't incur any late fees, or you don't have to worry about the van or the car being vandalized. Now my wife cannot worry about the car, doesn't worry about the children. She could just concentrate on me in the hospital. MASA also provides free organ transplant for our members. So if you needed an organ and the organ had to be flown into the Bahamas for a transplant, we would provide that transportation. We don't do a lot of organ transplants in the Bahamas, so we will fly our member to the organ. In other words, we'll fly our member to the hospital where the transplant is going to be done. Suppose I was on the waiting list for a kidney, and the doctor calls and says, Burroughs, we got great news. We found a match for a kidney. We're going to have the surgery in Jackson Memorial Hospital in Florida. We need you to go down there to the hospital to have your surgery done. If I was in the hospital in Nassau, MASA will fly me from the hospital in Nassau to the hospital in Florida, bedside to bedside. Say the kidney was in California. MASA will also pay for that kidney to be flown from California to Florida. So they bring the kidney to the hospital. They take me to the hospital for the transplant. If I was not a member of MASA, when I get my hospital bill, there'll be a nice bill there for the transportation of that organ. As a member of MASA, those organs will be flown to the hospital where the transplant is going to be done free of charge. So it's not only air ambulance. That's 9 benefits I mentioned so far. We have a few more to go. If I went to, say I got hurt in Spanish Wells and I had to be flown to Nassau, and my wife couldn't go with me on the air ambulance flight, so she said, I'll go over tomorrow. I have to get the kids sorted out. I'm going to take them by my sister's house. I have to take the uniform for school and get them straight, and I'll go on Bahamas Air or Pineapple Air to see my husband tomorrow. Once she visits me and I spend 2 weeks in the hospital, 7 days, 1 week. Once I spend 7 days in the hospital, MASA will reimburse my wife for the cost of that round-trip ticket. So we will allow someone to visit you in the hospital once you spend 7 days in the hospital. Another benefit number 11, is the recuperation benefit. If I was flown to Nassau and Nassau couldn't help me, as a member of MASA, they'll fly me now to Florida free of charge. I don't pay any money out of pocket. I'm admitted in the hospital in Miami. They do the operation. After the surgical procedure, they said, Burroughs, you're in good shape, but you need to spend 4 days in the hospital. As a member of MASA, I can say, you know what? Fly me to Nassau. I'll recuperate in Nassau because my family and friends are there. They can come and visit me rather than having to come to the States. You have that right to make that demand. We have found in the past that most of our members elect to stay where they are. They are to the hospital that's familiar with their injury. They've had the surgical procedure. They don't want to move about, so they elect to stay in the hospital. But if you do want to fly back home to recuperate in Nassau, we will provide that benefit for you as well. Now, mortal remain transport. Say if you were to die away, say I died as a result of my injury in Orlando, MASA will fly my body back to Nassau and get my body back here to Spanish Wells for burial. So the family, after I was in the hospital, they don't have to worry about trying to find some money now to get me back to Spanish Wells for the funeral. That's a part of my benefit as a member. Another benefit we provide, something we always say is MASA always gets you home, whether living or dead. If I went to Nassau and then I had to go to the States to the hospital and the doctor says, okay, Burroughs, now you're free to go home. You got to take these prescription medicine. You got to watch what you eat, exercise regularly, but you're free to go home. MASA doesn't just drop you to the hospital and forget about you. We'd buy you that one-way ticket to get you from Miami to Eleuthera or from Nassau to Eleuthera. So after your hospital stay, we'll get you home as well. There's another benefit we provide, which is benefit number 14. It's called the death benefit or the return of membership fee benefit. Bahamians are so funny. This is the only place this is offered. Bahamians say, man, if I don't use my membership, if I don't use no benefit, y'all can give me back my money, eh? Well, we decided that in the event a member dies, we will reimburse to the family money up to $2,000. It's kind of tricky to determine the exact amount because it's less than he claims. Sometimes some people have exorbitant claim fees, so they don't get anything when the member dies. But I'm too dumb to calculate it. It's done at our head office in Texas. If something happens to a member dies, then they get together with the family and determine if there are any funds due to the family. So those are the 14 benefits MASA provides every single member, whether that member is a day old or 100 years old. Once you become a member at MASA, you get all those benefits and you don't pay another dollar out of pocket. The big one, of course, is the air ambulance transport. Why spend thousands of dollars up front for a flight to Nassau or even the States when you can become a member of MASA and not pay a dollar out of pocket for that service? Sometimes we encounter people that say, Burroughs, man, this is a great plan, but I have insurance. Something happens, my insurance will take care of most of it. Yeah, some people do have insurance, but what we have found out is that some insurances, you have to get pre-approval on every insurance. And sometimes they are looking for a way to deny that flight. MASA is in the business of flying, not denying. We don't have any copay. Where with an insurance company, you may have to pay 20%. There is usually an 80-20 split. With an insurance company, you pay 20%. With MASA, you pay zero. In most cases, a 20% split can be thousands of dollars, and that can represent years of membership with MASA. Insurance company, just when you fly to Nassau or fly to the States, that's it. They don't return you back home. They don't allow someone to come and visit you. They don't reimburse you $500. They won't fly you home if you die. They don't do any of those 14 benefits I just mentioned. So don't be fooled. There's only one MASA. What does it cost to join MASA? For a family, for the year, the membership is $360 plus a $60 one-time initiation fee. For an individual, it's $240 plus $60 one-time initiation fee. So for less than $1 a day, you can get your family covered with MASA. We consider a family husband and wife, live-in boyfriend and girlfriend, his children, her children, any children they have together, all under the age of 18. If a child is above 18, we'll cover them up to age 23 if they're in college. So for a family of 4, in my instance, me, my wife, and 2 daughters, we're covered for less than 25 cents a day. I don't have to worry. I have peace of mind. If something happens, if the school calls, my daughter fell off the monkey bars and hit her head and got to go to Florida to see a brain specialist, I don't have to worry about scrapping that money up, borrowing that money. I know with my MASA membership, I can get my daughter, my wife, to the facility that's going to have the best chance of saving their life. How do we allow you to pay several ways. You can pay for the membership upfront. You can pay through salary deduction for government employees. And we can also pay through Royal Bank or Scotia Bank. For a family, it's just $30 a month. For an individual, it's just $20 a month. So for $30 a month, you can join our membership. For a family, for $20 a month, a single person can join. That's all it takes. My cell number, I'm going to be on the island in a few days. My cell number is 433-6310. Or you can call us at the office in Nassau, 393-5048 or 52. That's Medical Air Services Association, commonly known as MASA. We'd like to thank Splash FM for allowing us to be here today. Thank you for listening, and we hope to get a lot of you guys covered and get your families protected.